Okay, you guys, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Um, I've sat very quietly and I've kind of let everything go. I've let everything roll past me, if you will, because I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved in anything that's actually going on around YouTube that is just not doesn't have anything to do with what it is that I'm actually doing. And I've kept my peace. Certain things I will speak out about. Um, I'm going to always speak out when it comes to this situation of a narrative trying to be built about gay men versus black women because I think it is preposterous. It is preposterous. It does not exist in my world. 95% of my following are black women. So, again, that is preposterous. And I will stand for that. I will always stand for that. And I don't know, I say it all the time. And anybody who visits my channel and hangs out at my channel, you know exactly how I feel about black women, white women, Latino women, women as a whole, the whole gamut of you. And there's no hate, there's no malice, none of that stuff. And when you come to my channel and when you are in my presence face to face, you are treated like a queen. Period. That is just the way it is. If you step me wrong, male, female, or otherwise, you'll be treated accordingly. And that's it. That's it. Then at that point, you're not a queen. You're an intruder at that point, and you'll be treated as such. Okay? So I don't go around misusing, abusing, or anything. Anybody, males or females. Same thing happens with men. Men who actually come past my channel, you're treated as kings, and some of them as queens. Just depends on where you fall in the gamut. And I treat you good, up close and personal, as well as on the channel. Same thing. If you step me wrong, you and I will step out into the street and you'll be treated as an intruder, but it won't be the same as it is when I'm dealing with a female. I will come for you. And you've all seen it. So that whole narrative, oh, the gay men, they don't deal with the men like they deal with the women. You're right. I don't deal with the men the way I deal with the women. When the men start, I pretty much will attack them before the girls actually get away with a little bit more than the guys in the past have gotten away with. So in my case, that's what it is. I don't know what you dealt with other people. I don't play games over here. Over here, this is my domain. It's my domain, and I ain't playing no games. Period. Period. And that's not to say that I'm tough or that I'm bad. It's just to say, don't come over here with that foolishness. Don't come over here. Don't do it. Come over here to have a good time or stay from over here. Period. That's what I do. Now, what I won't do is I won't sit here and stay quiet while my integrity is being challenged, nor while I'm being lied on. Because one thing that I cannot stand is somebody rewriting history. I don't play it. I don't play it and I'll never stand for it. Not in my world. So here you go. I'm tired of getting emails with individual questions about Vegas Gate. Okay? One thing I don't do is I don't erase videos. I don't lock videos up. I don't unlist videos and all of that. I put it out there and it's done and I move on to the next content. So when it comes to James, there are no videos that have been locked that you can't find. There's only one video that explains my take on Vegas Gate. After that, there were videos that were beef videos. There was a beef that ensued after that. So there's that stuff, and it's all still out there. But my explanation of what actually happened in Vegas Gate, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to let you hear it out of my mouth so I can stop being questioned. So I can stop with the, he's not innocent. He's not innocent. He's not innocent. Really? And I'll ask the question now, 3 years, almost 4 years later, that I asked back then. When someone steals your money, what is it that you're going to do? Go ahead and listen to what I had to say. This was actually filmed back in May of 2016. Nothing has been changed. Nothing has been. It's nothing but a re-upload of the actual video. The actual video, if you don't want to believe me and you want to go pull the actual video, I was just making it easier for you. But the actual video was actually called What Happens in Vegas. But here you go. Um, enough. Enough. And stop trying to rewrite history. History is what it is. What was done is what was done. What was said is what was said. Period. All extra parties who have all this extra, you're extra. You're extra. You either were not there, weren't affiliated, or just plain old wasn't invited. So while you're talking, I have no idea. Okay, listen on, you guys. So, there's been a whole lot of speculation, a whole lot of back and forth, and the truth is somewhere all in between there. So, somebody had to be the one to tell the truth. Might as well be me. Let's go. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. So, before we even get started, I don't want to hear a whole lot of this. Oh, that's so sad, and all of this kind of carrying on, because this story actually does have a happy ending. So let me just tell you that. So while you're watching, just watch. Don't start your comments about how sad it is until you're done. And then when we're done, you can write that if you want, if that's how you still feel. But I promise you, this story has a happy ending. Now, you all know that the Sniff and Sip group, which is myself, Squeaky Jones, Alexander Rogers, Sayshawn Bradley, and Lady Nika. We all went to Vegas. We put out all the videos. You guys got to share a lot of that content with us. It was great fun. So everything you say, that is all true. All true. You know, no edits, no none of that stuff. We just had a great time, you know, and there was Tiki and Frank and the Platinum Rose. You know, we had a wonderful time. So whatever, all you saw, you know, all that is the truth. Everything was great. We had a great time. Now, once we came back, of course, we all know there's the whole thing about the naysayers that say, you know what? You can't really make friends on social media. And with that being said, we were really surprised and shocked that we were like, this actually worked. There were no issues, you know, while we were there. There was no issues. Well, there actually were. This is the truth. There were issues after we came home, but I mean literally after we came home. We left on Thursday. Squeaky came home on Sunday night, and the rest of us came home on Monday morning, with the exception of Alex. Alex came home Monday evening. Well, by Tuesday, all hell had broken loose. Okay, all hell had broken loose, and the four of us, basically four, because Lady Nika is the one oddball out. Okay, the four of us made a decision to continue a united front, that it doesn't matter what the fallout is. We don't need to go online with that, because people are already doubting that this type of friendship is possible. So we said we're going to stay united, because it's what we've become, family. This is what we've done, and this is what we're going to do. Nika's over there, and it literally all just started with, I'll just start with me. I came home Tuesday night from bingo, and I get a phone call. I answer the phone, and it's Nika, and Nika's asking me, really strange question. Have you heard from anybody? And I'm like, well, no. No, I haven't heard anything, this, that, thing, and the other. Well, she didn't believe me. She didn't believe me. And then it ended up being a bunch of phone calls. And then I found out about these Facebook posts and this Twitter stuff. And you all know you don't see me like that on Facebook and on Twitter. So I usually don't know that there's beefs going on that end of things until someone tells me. Well, there were undoubtedly lots of subliminal messages going out from the lady. She was feeling some type of way, and she was, basically stating that she hadn't been treated well, and that kind of thing. And she was saying that nobody was speaking to her. Now, the thing was, nobody was not speaking to the lady. We were all still speaking to the lady, but her conscience actually got the best of her. That's what happened. Fuck what you saw in those videos that she posted. Her conscience had gotten the best of her. And her conscience had eaten her up to the point where she literally thought that we had gathered and talked and found out things, and that we weren't speaking to her. And that wasn't even what had happened. Here, as all that started going on, we then did find out other things that went on. But like I'm saying, guys, all of that happened after we got home. The vacation was a success. Coming home was the bullshit. And then we decided, like I said, a unified front. We ain't going to talk about this. This is it. We had it. We dealt with it. It's done. Done. Nika and her Twitter fingers and all of that, she went on and she went on and she went on. And let me just explain to you, because there's a lot of this back and forth, and people are saying, oh, I feel so sorry for you, Nika, that you went through that. All of that is foolishness, and nobody needs to feel sorry for Nika. Nika made a video, and she said, she's really sorry that we really didn't dog her out, and we didn't. That she, was in her feelings. All of that, y'all, was bullshit. Everything that has been said up to this point, a lot of these things came to light. And that's why I say the conscience is what got to her. Let me explain to you what Lady Nika actually did to the group. And I'm going outside of the group because the group still wants to keep front. But let me tell you something. I am the oldest motherfucker in the group. I am older than Nika. I am older than Sean, Squeaky, and Alexander. And I decided I'm going to go and tell the truth. Now, I don't have a problem. If the group wants to be mad with me afterwards, that'll be fine. But I have a problem with sitting around here and people speculating against the four of us and dragging us and trying to make it seem as though we're liars or that we did something wrong. Now, let's just explain this. I'm going to give you the down low of it all. When someone steals your money, how are you supposed to feel? I'll wait. Because that's what happened. So let's stop all this. We're sad for Nika, and Nika got... Nika stole from us, blatantly stole from us. Let me explain. We got to Vegas. I don't know what money Nika had or didn't have when we got to Vegas, okay? But I'm going to tell you, within 2 hours of us being in Vegas, Tiki came to the house. Tiki brought us food to eat from Popeye's Chicken. She gave Nika a card, and that was admission of Nika's. She gave Nika a card with $50 in it, cash, because she had already been crying the poor mouth about how hard of a time that she has been having financially and all of that. Tiki gave her $50 cash, and y'all have seen that in the other videos. So she had $50 that we know of. But we didn't know that at the time. We never knew about that till after we got home. We then were putting together money to go to the store. Tiki was going to go to the store. She was going to have Nika ride with her. Tiki only has a 2-seater car. So Nika was the one that was going to go to the store with Nika. We gave our money. I can say, me personally, I gave $20. Okay? All I asked for from the store was soda and potato chips. Okay? Now, I can't really speak to exactly how much money the other ones gave, but it was 20s and 25s. Numbers were floating. So we're going to just say roughly there was about $85 that actually went to the store. Tiki put all the money into Nika's hands. When they got to the store, they purchased some things. The things came just under $80. Tiki then put $60 in as a gift to us. She put $60 toward that total. Nika paid the rest, which we'll just say $20. We'll just say it's $20. It was less than, but we'll just say $20, which left Nika with at least $60 of our money. Nika told Tiki at that time, when I get back to the house, I'm going to give them their money back. So that would be at $15 a piece. She was going to distribute it between the four of us. So that would be $15 a piece. Today is Monday. Almost a week and a half later. If I got my $15, you fucking got it. So this was the big issue. You kept our money. And then after that, we all talked to Nika. Nika goes through a story of how she forgot to give us back our change. And every day that we were there, she kept noticing, oh shit, Nika, you fucked up. Oh, I forgot to give them their change. For 4 days. For 4 days, you forgot to give us our change. Come on. Seriously. And that was fine. We even went past that. But there was more stuff that went on. More. You had the money that you had kept from us the day before, on Friday. Thursday night. We told you we went down to the Outback to eat. Tell me why did Squeaky need to pay for Nika's meal when you had $60 that belonged to all of us collectively, and you had $50 that Tiki had actually given to you, but Squeaky still needed to pay for your meal because you didn't have any money because you were waiting on your Google check to come through the next day. Using, abusing, scamming, all the things that you've heard about the lady over the internet. All the stuff that's been on Lipstick Alley about the lady. Scamming, stealing, begging, subliminally, all that stuff. Turned around on Friday. Keep forgetting Thursday, then Friday. Friday we go to the Cheesecake Factory for lunch. You noticed in the morning that you had our money. Still ain't give it to us. Still ain't mentioned it. Sean pays for your meal down at the Cheesecake Factory now. Because you still crying with a loaf of bread up underneath your arm. So to our knowledge, you got $110 in your pocket. You ain't paid at that point. You ain't paid for nothing. We agreed to split Uber costs throughout the trip. To my knowledge, Nika only paid $5 toward an Uber ride the full time we were in Vegas. 4 days. To and from everywhere we went. I don't know what kind of Uber she got. Anyway, we go through all this. Then that cookout, when we did the cookout on Saturday, this was the other big one. The cookout. We're going to go ahead and everybody, we had decided this before we left, everybody was going to make their signature dish that they are known for in their town. And she was supposed to be making jambalaya and 2 different types of etouffee. One that was seafood and one that was not. You tell me how that broke all the way down to ending up being tossed salad. Each one of us had a grocery slip that was darn near $100, if not over $100. Why was Nika's slip under 30? And to my knowledge, Sean actually gave her most of the money for that because you were still crying broke with a loaf of bread up underneath your arm. So I'm still not finding out why you felt you weren't treated well. Then there was this thing that arose about the clothing that she wore. Me personally, I didn't give a fuck about how you looked. However tattered, torn, or dusty that you looked was how you chose to look. It was how you knew you were going to look when you got there. Because if you looked tattered, torn, or dusty, you're the one that put the tattered, torn, dusty shit in your luggage. So that don't have anything to do with me. I knew nothing about nothing. There were no personal conversations about Nika or anything like that. All I know is I came back from bingo and Sean says, please come with me. We're going to go to the strip mall. Okay, because there's been a comment of, if you're my friend and there's something wrong, you'll tell me. Not only did the boy not tell her on the side, he literally picked her up and took her to a strip mall and dressed her from head to toe, even down to the motherfucking purse. And you all seen the video footage of that. You saw me and Nika and Sean walking through the strip mall, picking out the clothing and everything for Nika because Sean did not want her to be looking wrong whenever the cookout came up, because we knew there were going to be guests. We knew a lot of that footage was going to actually hit YouTube. So he did the over top thing of what a friend would actually do. He wasn't satisfied with what you had and he dressed your ass up. Did he not? It's all in the video. You all seen it. You seen it. You seen us shopping. So he's been more than a friend to her. And I found out later on, she didn't even pay her own plane ticket to get there. Sean paid for that plane ticket for her to get there. Okay? So come on. Seriously, Nika? Walking in the door, we all picked rooms. I picked a room. I had a room that had a bathroom attached. Sean had one, and so did Alex. There were 2 other rooms because the 2 girls actually stayed together. Nika was standing up there with a pouting look on her face. I didn't even let it go no further. It was starting to piss me off from the door when we had got into the city. I was like, because I've been side-eyeing the lady for quite a while. But as long as you don't do nothing to me, that ain't my problem. But what I did, I took one for the team right there. An hour into being in Vegas, and I gave my room to Nika. I let her have my room with the bathroom in it. And I took one of the smaller rooms. And I shared a bathroom with Squeaky. And I don't even understand why that was even necessary. You didn't even use it. But whatever. So, all of that stuff is just a lie. And it's really a mess. And this last video she did with the black screen saying, it's a total, all of this stuff from today is a contradiction of the things that you said yesterday. All of it. Just all you got to do is keep watching. It's all a contradiction. All of it. All that mess about her kids and the police. Now, all of you all know, as much as the lady speaks, there's no way on God's green earth that her children were fighting with each other and one had to go to the hospital and the police called her on the phone and all of this. on Thursday night or Friday night, and she ain't said nothing to none of us. Not me, not Sean, not Squeak, nobody. She'd have kept that to herself all the way going back home. That ain't nothing but a lie. And I'm going to tell you where the fail-safe in the story is. I don't give a fuck what city you're from. If the police come to your house and everyone involved is over 18 years old, which her kids are all grown, and motherfuckers are in there fighting, and somebody is fucked up to the point where they got to go to the hospital, first of all, the police ain't calling your mama on her cell phone. Not going to happen. And if someone has to go to the hospital for stitches, I promise you, some motherfucker went to jail. And if you all ain't coming clean with who fucked them up to get them to the point of needing stitches, all you motherfuckers is going to jail, and DPW is going to take the kids. So where's the rest of the story, Nika? You're lying. Again, nothing but a lie. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Don't just eat everything that somebody serves you, because I'm not even expecting you to eat everything I'm serving. And you guys know I don't have a thing about telling what's right. I tell you what's right, whether it's wrong, right, or indifferent, and we just deal with it. You know, I don't always do everything right. I don't always make the decisions that other people would make. But I do run this channel, and I will put myself out there, and I'm out there for anything that you have to say after I share my business with you. Okay? So I'm open to it. But I beg you, pay attention to the things that are being said. Pay attention to the things that are being said. And then you're hearing them from all over the place about the lady. Okay? So that's a mess. And then when she said, you know, everything, and she comes right back, and today she said everything was fine. You know, those people, we are all good. No, we didn't all just decide not to. No, we decided to separate. We weren't going to make no big deal. It was what it was. I said to Nick and myself, the money is spent. It doesn't make a difference. Who cares? It is what it is. And I said, let's just chill out and let it go. Everything will either fix itself or not, and we'll just roll on with it. But that wasn't good enough. You and them Twitter fingers and all of this subliminal dragging, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It's ridiculous. No one did anything to you. You literally stole from us, Nika. You stole from us. You stole from us. We tried to keep quiet. We didn't want to put you out here and embarrass you like this. We didn't. Now, me personally, I was a fan of telling it in the beginning, because you know how I do. But the kids said don't do it. I said fine. But sometimes the adult has to stand up. And she said she got cussed out. I'm the one that cussed Nick out. I admit to it. I did that. I'm the one that did that. When we did have the phone conversation and we were all on, it was her, I, and Sean. At that point, Squeaky had enough. And we talked, and I was fine up until the point Nika literally tried to explain to me how she spent my money along with their money, and then try to make it right and say, well, how about things that we need for the house? We needed cigarettes, and we needed cigars, and we need this, and we need that. And it was all things that didn't make sense. I don't smoke. No kind of smoke. So I don't need a cigar. I don't need a cigarette. I don't need liquor because I don't drink that. So why are you trying to tell me that? She said, I had the money and I just kept forgetting to give it to you. And I kept saying, Nika, you fucked up. And then, but when we went to the store, she said, remember, James, remember when we went to the store and I took the money and I bought the Amsterdam. I didn't even know what Amsterdam was. I kept saying, well, what is Amsterdam? And what are you talking about? And I said, well, let's just stop right there, because this story's falling apart as you're going. Because remember, I didn't go to the store with you, bitch. I was at bingo. See what I mean? It was just a circle of bullshit. And once that came out, Sean's trying to talk to her. She took that straight when the nice little lady, there's another lady that was beefing with her, made videos and said something about how she always jumps to the health thing. She jumped right to the health thing. Sean, you don't understand. I have problems at home, and then I have health issues that you will never understand, Sean. I have a bad health situation, and I was drinking, and I forgot, and it was all about this health thing, and he didn't understand. And I got so tired, and I said, Nika, let's stop with the health situation. It ain't no thing, baby. You got lupus. and you on the right side of the house. I got cancer. I'm on the left side of the house. Baby, you ain't heard me crying. You ain't heard me whining. And I definitely ain't steal none of these kids' money. So let's stop with the health thing. We're going to throw that little piece away. And I did get very upset because you're trying to play on him. Stop trying to play on this boy. This boy done bought you clothes. He done got you here. He done, you done spent up his money. You done spent up money at Tiki's and carrying on. And it was just a bunch of bullshit, you all. And it has been a bunch of bullshit. And it is what it is. So this is the truth of the matter. We had a fabulous time on our vacation. And the proof is in the pudding. You can make friends on YouTube. You can. And sometimes friendships don't always work out. There were 5 of us. 4 of us are good and already planning for our next stop without the lady. Because we don't need no thieves with us. We don't. It just was what it was. And I tried to get her to just leave it alone, but she just wants to tell this story and rally people into believing that she was so abused. She was not abused. She was not abused at all. You scammed and you lied and you took and you took and you took and you had to have the best of everything and you wanted to have the most of everything. Well, what you got was the best. You got a good leave it alone. You got left alone and you are alone. And we're done with it. We're done with it. We're not going to go back and forth with you. This is the end of it. It is done. This is the truth. This is the truth that everybody's been trying to find out. So I hope that everybody who had questions about the sniff and sip and the fallout, there's all your answers. There was no fallout. The only thing that fell out was the lady. All the queens are still intact. The boy queens and Squeaky, the black queen. We all together and we're all fine. We're fine. And we're going to be doing great things. And we're going to be the family that we told you that we are. And we're going to keep on hanging and partying with Tiki and Frank and Platinum Rose and whoever else comes in our path. We are actually fine, guys. We are. We're not pulling your leg. We literally were trying to keep from embarrassing Nika. That's why we decided on the United Front. It wasn't to try to, do you guys. We just thought it'd just be best to just let that go. Just let it go, and then maybe we would actually forgive her one day and come back together with her. But no, we're not going to ever come back together with her. Not as a group, because I'm part of this group, and I'll never speak to Lady Nika again. And I promise you that. I'll never speak to her again. And it was a really sad thing. There's just 2 things that were sad the whole time that I was in Vegas. When I landed in Vegas, I found out that Prince had died. And when I got back to Pittsburgh after Vegas, I found out that while I was in Vegas, there were thieves in the temple. Bye, guys. So there you have it. That is what happened at Vegas Gate. Period. I have nothing to gain by telling any lies. I've never had anything to gain by telling any lies. I haven't tried to run anybody off of anywhere. I haven't tried to do anything to anybody. All I was doing at that time, 3 years ago, was the same thing I'm doing now. Protecting my integrity. Getting people off my back. That's the exact same thing I'm doing now. It don't have nothing to do with not near another individual who was actually in that video. This is about James and about James's integrity and about what James has. I don't have anything to gain by lying to you all. Absolutely nothing. I'm the same James that I was then. I am. If you push me, you'll get the same reaction. Same reaction. It might be a little shorter. I have nothing to gain by telling any lies. Period. Period. So, this is it. I don't need to hear, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. Oh, I feel differently about you now. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know all that went on. Oh, well, I wouldn't have done it like that. Oh, well, why couldn't you have I don't need to hear any of that. I don't need to hear any of that. If you have watched this video and you feel differently about me than you did last week, bow out gracefully, shut your mouth, because I'm not concerned with what your reasonings are, and excuse yourself like a lady or a gent, and don't become a casualty of war. Just move on quietly. The rest of you that are cool and that are down, let's go. We have work to do. We ain't got time for this mess. And again, that whole narrative about black men and black women, garbage, pure garbage. You all need not fall into that mess. I keep telling you all, that is not a whole war that you all want to dredge up. Leave that mess alone. Y'all got enough mess going on in these YouTube streets. Leave that mess alone. Leave it alone. Black gay men do not hate black women. That is ridiculous. If there were no black women, there'd be no black gay men, child. Now, come on. And that's just a fact. Later.